This is a great topic, and one that I've spent a lot of years kind of evolving, not only on a personal level, but also on a professional level. I think really when I started this journey, I started looking at from my own experiences, from Hawaii, but grew up in Asia, going through a lot of the educational systems there, and then taking specific looks at technology and agriculture and seeing how others around the world have been evolving their own. And the one thing that I think really kind of sits with me as I've gone through this whole journey is looking at the generational side of things. When we think about my parents, who are the baby boomers, to my generations, Gen X, to Gen Y, the millennials, and the Gen Zs, and then now to my kids, who are Generation Alpha. It's fascinating to see how much our age and culture and the social societal norms and all these things overlaid with the evolution of the internet, the dot-com boom, and now, as we talked about, AI, how
Mhm.
that's impacted and affected things.
Mhm.
And I think the thing that really resonates to what I see as this trend is, some cultures, some geographies, some countries have really taken a hard look at, okay, we came out of the World War II. Our current generation has never seen major economic strife like wars, etc. And so now it allows our participants, our students, etc., to really kind of take a look at, well, what is life like? And now this whole movement around work-life balance and all these things has really kind of brought it to the forefront. We see things like the Great Resignation as a really interesting data point, where we're looking at, okay, people don't want to work for jobs or cultures or environments that are not fulfilling to their own values. And that, I think, is really the core to look at the values driven approach of what the education and the future of education will be, especially around traditional industries like
Mhm.
ag and manufacturing and whatnot.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. You mentioned something there that I think a lot of people, were aware of, and some obviously directly impacted by, the Great Resignation and those kinds of things. So that's a big part of it, and obviously that all kind of brew out of the pandemic and getting us through that. But what another trend I think we're also seeing that I think culturally industries need to get prepared for is what I'm calling the great never apply in the first place. Because as you said, when you get into the newer generations, the younger generations, they are discovering that, why would I go work for someone for 60, $70,000 a year when I can sell stuff on eBay or become an Amazon affiliate or start a YouTube channel and make that same type of money as a solopreneur or whatever you want to call it. So that's another area where I think again, that still all revolves around technology because those are things that are happening on the device that's physically in someone's hand, right? For the most part. So that's another layer to it that I think we really have to take into account as to how that's going to start to impact the availability of workers and people to fulfill the jobs that we do need, in the larger corporation structure. And then how does that then also shift just the normal demographics of what areas people strive to be in when they start their careers and have those types of mindsets.
It's kind of interesting when you're talking. I was thinking about my kids, and when I remember when I was growing up, you have these kind of role models or these heroes. And when I think back of, let's just say, my parents' generation, and you're going through all the different types of job functions or whatnot. Of course, it was doctors and lawyers and engineers and this and another. And then you fast forward to my kids, they're like, no, we want to be YouTubers and
Right. Right.
we want to be Mr. Beast. And
Right.
what was it? My soon to be 9-year-old told me, yeah, Mr. Beast is up to 171 million followers, subscribers. I'm like, that's crazy, and he's generating some crazy thing like $1 million a year.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I can't even fathom what this new type of, it's not even gig economy structure. It's like this whole different type of content generators, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. They are saying that by 2025, which is like next week, when we really think about it, that that economy will be worth $500 billion a year. Uh, that's a lot of money, right? Just in people who are doing, online influencers and online selling and YouTube channels and different things like that. That there is that much revenue in that. So that is really changing the structure of things, and I mean, and another thing I kind of equate that to, and which is really interesting because you have your big players out there, the larger corporations, and they still, a lot of them traditionally, from a marketing standpoint, would prefer to do a spend $100,000 on producing a TV commercial, right? Because they think that traditionally that's the way things would work, versus spend $10,000 to promote 100 social media posts, when in today's world, you actually get more benefit out of that 10,000 and those social media posts than you do spending $100,000 to produce a commercial. But they haven't made that mindset shift yet. And that's really what we're talking about now, is from a workforce standpoint, educational standpoint, etc. Now's the time where we need to try to get ahead of the curve and not have to be in this reactionary position